Whispers of Eldrith. Shadows over Duskhaven. Act 1. The Manor's Secret. The historic manor of the Worthington family sat atop Duskhaven's cliffs, casting long shadows over the town. Sam, the latest Worthington heir, always felt a peculiar pull to the house, its winding hallways resonating with whispered memories. While escaping the summer heat in the mansion's less frequented sections, he stumbled upon a hidden attic, the air heavy with age and the musky scent of forgotten lore. As he dusted off relics of the past, the tome seemed to call out to him. Bound in leather that felt unsettlingly alive, its symbols, written in a dark, viscous ink, beckoned him. It felt colder than it should, and Sam could swear he heard faint, indecipherable whispers when he held it to his ear. That evening, under the flickering light of old lanterns, he invited Lila, Ben, and Mia to witness his discovery. Their shared sense of adventure led them to chant the cryptic verses. The air grew frigid. The lantern flames turned an eerie shade of blue, and then everything returned to normal. Or so they thought. Act 2. Unnatural Occurrences. Duskhaven had always been cloaked in mists, but the fog that descended post that fateful evening was different. Thick, almost solid, and carrying a briny scent mixed with something older. Locals whispered about apparitions in the fog, shadows that moved against the wind, and soft lamentations that echoed in the stillness. Lila, who lived near the shoreline, would wake to wet footprints in her home, starting from her window and disappearing at her bedroom door. Her nights were restless, plagued by visions of drowned sailors beckoning her to join them in the deep. Ben's once joyful nature turned increasingly erratic. He became obsessed with the woods, speaking of whispers among the trees, and eyes watching from the darkness. On more than one occasion, Sam and Mia found him standing trance-like in the forest, conversing in an unknown tongue with unseen entities. Mia's art, previously vibrant and full of life, transformed. Her canvases depicted storm-tossed seas, shadowy forests, and a monstrous figure lurking at the periphery, its form ever-changing, but its eyes, cold, calculating, ancient, always prominent. Act 3. Duskhaven distorted news spread of other occurrences. Mirrors fogged up without reason, revealing twisted reflections of their viewers. Children sang rhymes of an ancient from the deep, a song none recalled teaching them. Fishermen spoke of empty waters, their nets coming up torn and shredded. The elderly, especially, felt the change. They huddled indoors, drawing protective symbols and burning sage. To Sam and his friends, it became apparent that the town's legends were more than mere stories. They sought answers from the town's oldest resident, Mrs. Dunwoody. Her cottage was a treasure trove of arcane knowledge, every nook filled with herbs, bones, and charms. With age-lined hands, she brewed a tea that revealed memories, her younger self and her friends standing defiant against a monstrous shadow, the air filled with the sound of a ringing bell. Act 4. Eldrith's history. Mrs. Dunwoody recounted the tale from her youth. Eldrith was not just a demon, but a primordial entity, ancient when the world was young. Duskhaven was built on a sacred site, its energies keeping Eldrith at bay. But the demon's influence spread every few generations, testing the town's resolve. To banish Eldrith again, they needed an anchor to the physical world, an object of pure innocence. She handed Mia the silver bell, forged centuries ago and imbued with the laughter of children, its chime capable of repelling the darkest of evils. Act 5. Eldrith's embrace. Duskhaven's streets were deserted the night the four ventured to confront Eldrith. The sea roared with fury, waves crashing against the cliffs, the skies painted with dark, swirling clouds. Armed with determination and Mrs. Dunwoody's bell, they began the ritual. As Lila sang, her voice seemed amplified, echoing off the waters. Ben, with newfound clarity, joined her, their harmonies intertwining. Mia rang the bell in rhythm, its clarity piercing the storm. Sam, holding the tome, chanted the counterverses, willing Eldrith into submission. The entity rose from the depths, its form too immense and shifting to comprehend fully. Tentacles of darkness reached for them. The air filled with Eldrith's enraged roars and the town's anguished cries. The climax came as lightning struck the bell in Mia's hand. A blinding light enveloped everything. The night's terrors gave way to a calm dawn. Eldrith repelled, forced back into the watery abyss. Epilogue. Legacy of Vigilance. Duskhaven slowly returned to its routines, but the scars of Eldrith's touch remained. The four friends, once naive teenagers, awaiting a time when Duskhaven might need its knowledge again. The town's elders often said, "Evil sleeps, but never dies." The friends knew, as did Mrs. Dunwoody before them, that vigilance was the price of safety.